Welcome everybody to Ask a CEO interview show. I'm Greg Demetrio, the CEO of Lorraine Gregory Communications, which is a fully integrated marketing and communications company here on Long Island. Today we have a special guest, Adam Haber, who's created something that's a little different in our marketplace, and I think one whose time has come. A company named Trellus. Its website is By Trellus, and it's same-day local delivery service. Very interesting. So Adam has a very, very robust and interesting background. He started as a commodities trader.
Yes.
Right? Went on to being an angel investor.
True.
Owned a Michelin star restaurant.
Unfortunately.
And he's now a principal at a real estate merchant bank. But his civic-mindedness took him to the Roslyn School District, where he was a board member. And currently, he's a board member at the Hagendorn Little Village School for Children with Disabilities and Development Issues. But he was also tapped by New York State to be on the board of the Nassau Interim Financial Authority, which is rather heady for me. You know, I can't make 2 cents together, But no, and also he's the economic development head for the town of Hempstead. So Adam brings a lot to the table. And thank you for being on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
I really appreciate it.
Yep.
So tell us about your journey to By Trellus. How did you get there? What were the steps?
It's interesting. Like each part of your life leads to something else. My wife likes to say I'm fluent financially. I was in finance, commodity derivative trading, banking, real estate, venture investing. Unfortunately, I got into the restaurant business, but it was a lot of fun. And then I ran for office a few times. I ran for county executive about 8-9 years ago. I came in second. And then I ran for state senate twice, and I came in second. If I was an Olympian, that'd be pretty cool. I'd have a silver medal. But since I ran for government, it didn't work out well. But with all my background and experience, I was appointed by Carl Heastie, who's the head of the assembly for the Nassau Interim Finance Authority, to oversee the county finances, which are a mess. I did that for about a year, and I had to step down when I ran for state senate. But with my background, when Laura Gillen won to be supervisor in Hempstead, the town of Hempstead, which is the largest town in America, about 800,000 people, she asked me to be her head of economic development. And I'm a business junkie. Like, I love learning how. I asked you a bunch of questions. How'd you get started? You know, what's your business like? Give me a tour. I love learning. I think entrepreneurship, I believe capitalism. I love the way people are creative, put themselves out there, take chances. And I try to bring that to government. Unfortunately, government didn't want to have it. I wanted to try and create something like I created with Trellus. When I was at the town of Hempstead, I reached out to Hofstra. I reached out to Stony Brook. If they can code something, we'd have a private-public partnership where all the small businesses would create a marketplace.
Well, tell us more about Trellus and how it came to be. I was very interested to say you identified it because of the competition level with Amazon. So going up against the big guy is pretty significant.
Well, I couldn't get it done at the town, and then I asked a couple local guys if they knew how to. I'm not a programmer. If they knew how to program, because I had this idea that every elected official says shop local, but they don't do anything about it. They say, buy American, but it's always cheaper overseas. So Amazon's killing all these small downtowns. All these empty stores were happening. And then one day, when my kids were smaller, I was coming home from the city, and my wife said, go get a toy for a birthday party. And it was like, it's an hour round trip. I'm like, God, if there was some way I could just call somebody or place an order and have it at my house in an hour or two from a local store, I'd pay a premium for that. And that's kind of where the idea came about. And then I started going door to door about 1.5 years ago, speaking to businesses. Hey, how are you doing against Amazon? Are you able to share with their customers the same experience? No, we're getting killed. We need help. Right. And this is how Trellus was born. We basically created a marketplace to help small businesses compete.
I mean, you do what you say, because I've been on the website, and it's rather robust.
It's a lot of elbow grease. Today, tomorrow, and Sunday are crazy busy. We have everything on our site except for restaurants. We don't want to compete with Uber Eats or DoorDash. We don't take corporate partners. We don't take chains. We only take independently owned businesses like your local toy shop, candy, hardware. We wouldn't have Home Depot, but we have Trio Hardware.
How long has it been open?
We launched in In earnest, in about a year and 2 months ago, and then we raised $2 million in 4 days in December. And we're going out for a Series A round of about $10 million at the end of the spring, early summer, and we're growing like a weed.
Interesting, very, very interesting. A product that meant its time, right?
Nobody in the country's doing it. It's because it's a lot harder to deliver one package from 100 businesses than 100 packages from one business. So nobody wants to do the legwork.
So it's really it's a hybrid. It's part technology play and part service play.
Yep.
How do they marry together?
Well, I'm not smart enough to be the tech guy. So my partner, I have a marketing partner, a tech partner, and I'm the sales for another house. And we go door to door to meet these businesses, and then we have our own technology that routes the orders, creates batching. If you want to do a bunch of deliveries, we replace the need for a delivery driver and cut your costs down by like 70%.
Was your technology proprietary?
Some of it is. Some of it is off the shelf. The same thing that Amazon or Uber uses to help see where your car is going. We use that, which is off the shelf. There's lots of companies that do that, but our own technology to help see packages where they're going, to create more than one delivery at once. That was done by our developers. So
you must have a need for personnel.
Yeah,
so how hard is that to hire?
Well, if anybody's listening here, we're constantly hiring. We have the funding to hire another 3 or 4 sales reps. We pay well. It's just impossible to find people.
How about drivers?
Interestingly enough, drivers are not an issue because we pay 80% of the delivery fee to the driver, where everybody else pays 70%, and they don't transport stinky food or obnoxious customers.
Right.
So they just do it on their own time. They could turn their app on and off, and they love it.
Well, so how big is the back office staff?
We have 15 people all in. We have about 70 drivers. We want to have 1,500 people and 70,000 drivers. So we're growing.
What about the geographical expansion?
These are great questions. You must have done this before.
Well, time or two.
Right now, we're Long Island guys.
Right.
We deliver menial and Montauk on demand. So you want something, we can get it there in a couple hours. We also go on demand to the Van Wyck, but we're going to expand into Queens and Brooklyn as we raise our additional money. I mean, the area we serve, the part of Queens and Long Island has 4 million people, so we could make a nice business out of that.
So what about a national view? Any future?
We think, I'm an entrepreneur. I don't know the word no or stop. I think this could be international. We could sell licensing and our technology in each city, Boston, Philly, DC. Those are ideas once you get to New York. But there's no reason why every major metropolitan area in the country could have Trellus.
Wow, big vision.
You know, if you aim high, you shoot high.
Go big or go home.
I've gone home a few times. But
yeah, well, okay. You sit back in the back of the class, right? So, listen, you've had such a really robust business experience. You've touched many bases. Our audience is basically CEOs and people on their way to the corner office.
Sure.
What parting advice would you give to them from your perspective?
What parting advice would I give to a CEO? Surround yourself with people who are smarter than you are. Don't think you have all the answers. Don't be afraid to make a mistake, and don't be afraid to admit you're wrong. Because I learned that from commodity trading. If you don't admit you're wrong, you're going to be broke pretty soon. And you have to get ready. Once you're wrong, fix your mistake quickly.
We could probably do a whole show on your commodity trading experience.
It was fun. It was a great way to make a living for a very long time, and now it's all gone. It's all computerized.
Is that right? There's no more pit?
There are no more pits in New York.
Is that right?
Yeah, they have stuff at the New York Stock Exchange, but it's not even remotely the same.
I have a friend of mine who's a floor trader, and yeah, he's on the road more than he's home anymore. I think he does everything at his desk in his den. Anyhow, so Adam, thank you so much for being with us today. We really appreciate your experiences, your knowledge, and hope for the best for your company.
Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap for Ask a CEO series. Please find us at Greg's Corner Office on YouTube, and you can subscribe and forward and share every place because we need your help. Thanks.